Hello and welcome to Canterbury Live. It's Monday, June 23rd. I hope you all had a great weekend. A big ups to the rowing team, the New Zealand team over in France. They had 5 golds and 1 bronze over the weekends. How fantastic. So leading them steadfast into the rowing champs in Amsterdam at the end of the year. Well, June 23rd, we have a birthday today, and it is June Carter Cash. There she is there. Of course, she was the second wife of Johnny Cash himself. American singer, dancer, songwriter, actress, comedian and author. She played the guitar, banjo, harmonica and auto harp and acted in several films and television shows. She won 5 Grammy Awards. She died in 2003. Her stepdaughter Roseanne Cash stated that if being a wife were a corporation, June would have been a CEO. Next up, no, it's not his birthday. No, that's John the Teflon Gotti. And he was sentenced to life on this day with imprisonment, no chance of parole. He was the head of the city's largest mafia family, and he was convicted on the 2nd of April for racketing and 5 counts of murder. Smiley face there, isn't he? Not so much anymore. He actually passed away in 2002 at 61 of throat cancer. And of course, the Teflon was his nickname because nothing could stick. But unfortunately, it did in the end. And last but not least, wow. And only a face that a mother could love. And there we have the world's ugliest dog. He won that and over the weekend. He competed against 29. His name is Peanut. And he's 2 years old. I shouldn't be laughing, but my goodness. Peanut was a runaway favourite in the Just for Fun online poll and was crowned the winner on Friday night. Apparently he's sweet and energetic, and he lived in an animal shelter for 9 months before he found a home. He was seriously burned as a puppy, so not very nice at all, but you know, his owner Holly loves him and just thinks he's wonderful. So wow, seriously, poor lovely. But anyway, he was the winner, so all good. Now, coming up on today's show, it's Monday and we have a traffic update, which is great to get us around Christchurch. We have author Roger Allen in with me, and we're talking about Windsor and Shirley. But first up, of course, we've been covering with Rich from Area Landscapes, all these wonderful tips and so forth, thanks to garden makers. And today we see the final result.
Today we're here to show you the finished and final product. Everything we've been over in the last 10 weeks, we're going to slowly pan over, get some shots of. As you'll see, coming over the paving area right now at the moment, you'll see the slight fall down from the door, breaking down to the driveway, out into the lawn. Also you'll see, hopefully, that everything has balance. So you'll see that where we've placed the plants against the rocks, also against the entry into the house, so that everything works aesthetically with our eyes. Moving into the transition area, we can see a small path leading into our back lawn, and mainly here, our decorative fence. As you would have seen a few episodes ago while we were building this fence, small things you can do, not expensive as well to enhance your fence. We've painted our posts here black. We've also oiled our fence, giving it longevity. You'll notice this fence slightly darker than this fence here, and it's just through the differences. This one was done 2 weeks earlier, and it's just the timbers starting to oxidise with the oil. Also, you'll notice that the finishing of those copperhead nails, they stand out and look beautiful. This fence not only will offer privacy, it'll offer slight wind protection as well. And also it's an entry area for bringing things through, gardening materials, whether it be a barbecue. So you take that into account when putting fences in. It's not, you've got to allow room to always enter both areas, backwards and forwards. Here onto the final product, or the main event, shall we say, is our deck. As we referred back to in earlier sessions, it's a Quila hardwood deck, slightly bigger than normal size. Why? If you put your table and chairs down in the middle of a deck, you pull your chairs away a metre from your table, can your guests stand away from the table without stepping into your garden area? You'll see also with this deck, as you've seen when we were building it, that it wraps around and it joins onto our breakfast area, giving the house a really nice finish and pulling all your landscaping in together. That brings us to the end of the tour, the end of the series. Over the last 10 weeks, we hope you've really enjoyed what you've seen in the landscaping department, made possible from Area Landscapes and the staff there. The boys always work hard. Also, like to thank Garden Makers for supplying all products on this site during filming. Hopefully it's been inspirational. Get outside, enjoy your outdoors. Hint of advice, use a professional. Basically, get outside, start living. Thank you.
And a big thank you to Rich and the team from Area Landscapes. I love what he said, get outside and start living. So if you need to start living and you need help, don't forget to call Rich and the team from Area Landscapes. And thanks once again to Garden Makers for making it all happen. Well, stay with us after the break. We meet Roger Allen. He's the author of a book about Windsor and Shirley.
Every Saturday evening at 8 o'clock, we screen a riveting and educational documentary, ranging from history to music, culture to religion, and everything in between. Saturday night documentary, 8 o'clock, right here on CTV. It's Canterbury.
Pestral has the latest technology that repels rats and mice and even helps control cockroaches. Covers walls, ceilings and open spaces. Combines electromagnetic, ultrasonic and ionic technologies. Harmless to pets and people, just plug it in. Order your Pestral rodent-free today. Now $149.90 plus courier. Order within 20 minutes and get it courier free. Call 0800 88 88 44 or go to pestral.co.nz.
Yuck, look at all this moss and lichen. I'm not getting up there, not in these heels. Time to call Mossbuster.
Mossbuster is a no-bleach, non-abrasive, biodegradable solution that has over 35 years of proven results. You can buy Mossbuster online for less than half the cost of other well-known products and can be yours for less than $1 a litre. You just spray it on and let Mother Nature do the rest, or Mossbuster can do it for you. Check out our website or call the Mossbuster crew for a free quote. Mossbuster, 0800 88 1000.
Come dine with Country Catering at the Kaipoi Golf Club Cafe. Enjoy our range of delicious $10 lunches, daily specials and other homemade goodies. Open to the public 7 days inside the Kaipoi Golf Club, north end of William Street, Kaipoi. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to Carpet Kingdom. At Carpet Kingdom we stock a massive range of carpets and we're also the largest vinyl stockist in the South Island. And not only do we have an excellent range in store, but you can purchase our stock online. We offer free measuring quotes, we have our own installation team, we ship nationwide, so come on down and see us at Carpet Kingdom. 312 Wilsons Road in Waltham, just off Brougham Street, or visit us online at carpetkingdom.co.nz.
Southern Newsweek is an Otago-based news bulletin. Produced locally in Dunedin, it's your chance to catch up on everything that's happening in the community. Southern Newsweek, Saturday at 6:30 p.m. and repeated Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on CTV.
Welcome back. Now I'm joined by Roger Allen and he's the author of Windsor and Shirley. Welcome to Canterbury Live, Roger.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tell us about the book. What inspired you to write this?
Well, primarily it was because there's a great deal of misinformation around. And the two districts, their names have been moved a bit, and Windsor has almost gone out of recognition. And the two buildings are iconic to the district. and they gave their names to the district, which is really unique because most buildings take their name from the district, not the other way around. Now, the top picture is a picture of Windsor Park, and the bottom one is a picture of Shirley Methodist Church. That's the second church. The first church was a wooden structure initially built on the corner of Quinns Road and Shirley Road. And Mrs. Buxton, on her deathbed, asked her son to donate land for the church, which he did. And he was Joseph Shirley Buxton, and his mother's maiden name was Shirley. So they called the church Shirley Church, and the district took its name from the church, not the other way around. Now, Windsor Park, James Rowe, Piggy Rose as he was known, came to New Zealand in 1874 and bought in the Shirley area, and he set up a pedigree pig farm. Now, he bought his pedigree Berkshire pigs from Queen Victoria's estate in Windsor. So that house is called Windsor. Now, unfortunately, somewhere along the line, the people decided that it was in Dallington, and they've shifted the boundaries of Dallington into New Brighton Road. Well, that's absorbed the two buildings that gave their names to the district.
Right.
Yeah.
So when did that happen?
I think that happened in the early 60s when the natural boundary, McBratney's Road was the boundary between Dallington and Windsor, and then they put Gayhurst Road through in that time, and that's about the time that Dallington came about. Dallington, of course, that wasn't the first name. The first name was Broome Farm, and it was owned by Mr. Dudley, and of course Dudley Creek. And it's discrete because it was one rural section. So Dallington was one rural section. But then Mr. Jekyll bought it, and he named it after his small village in just out of Northampton, which well, I don't even know whether it was a village. It might have been an area. So Dallington came about that way, and then it's been absorbed. But it doesn't have in my mind, it doesn't have the background that Shirley or Windsor has.
No. Do you think Shirley's having a bit of an identity crisis?
Sure is.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so much up in the Palms area. It's down in the Flockton Basin, as it's called. Now, I've never heard of Flockton Basin, and I had 4 people ring me in one day asking me where Flockton Basin was. Now, we never knew it as that. Now, I grew up in the area. I went to Shirley School. I taught at Shirley School. And the children from that area actually went to Shirley School. I taught at St Albans School too, but the St Albans catchment was further over. So Barbados Street really is the boundary of Shirley. The old Shirley Post Office used to be at the end of Barbados Street. Now, I've seen it called Marihow. Well, Marihow didn't exist until the 1960s. It did exist in some ways, but that's explained in the book. But it didn't become a suburb till the 1960s. If you look in Wise's directory, it's not there in the 1957 Wise's directory.
Why do you think they had to create Marihow then?
Oh, well, it was growing. The district was growing. And where Marihow High School, that was known as Marshlands. But when Marihow High School was opened, I think that's when the district took its name. And I think that's acceptable.
Has there been any surprises to you from researching?
Well, not so much surprises, but what I tried to do was select people from the pioneers that perhaps are forgotten, but did a lot of work. Now, Neige Todhunter. Todhunters were well known, and her mother was Miss Bone. Now, they lived on the northern side of Burwood Park before Burwood Park was developed, and there was a road called Bones Road, which for some reason was changed to Broomfield Terrace. Now, Neige went to Burwood School, went to Christchurch Technical College, which is now no longer in existence, went to Otago University, where she gained a science degree. She lectured at Otago University, and she did a lot of work in child and elderly nutrition. She shifted to New York, where she got a PhD, and has a international reputation as a nutrition scientist. Now the other person is Grace Phipps. Now Grace Phipps' parents or grandparents were the Polks, and the Polks had a dairy farm in 1880 in Marshlands Road. Now Grace went to the Shirley Methodist Church, as did Nage Todhunter. And Grace, in the 1930s and 40s, wrote something like 20 novels in the district. And they are very faithful novels about the actual district.
Okay.
And people don't know about them. And so those are the surprises, perhaps. Perhaps those are the surprises that I'm giving the people who read the book. They're not surprises to me.
No.
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 And the other interesting thing, of course, is that district, the Shirley Methodist Church, was the only church in the district till 1912. The nearest churches was All Saints and perhaps St Matthew's. St Paul's was in the Dallington area, and it was really too difficult to get to. So a huge number of people actually went to the Shirley Methodist Church, which was established in 1868.
Great.
The next church, St Saviour's, not St Saviour's, St Stephen's, was established in 1912, so there was a 40-year gap. And it had Methodism had a huge influence on that district.
Well, Roger, I think if we want to find out more, we do need to buy the book, and I believe that Smith's Bookshop stocks it, and as well as some others, so
yes.
we can always Google it, that's fine. Take note.
Piccadilly Bookshop.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Thanks, Roger.
Good.
Okay, stay with us after the break. As we promised, we're giving you a traffic update.
Tomorrow Today is your science program, presenting a comprehensive overview of the latest trends in science and research. Tomorrow Today, Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m, right here on CTV.
Blackwell's has a proud history presenting leading vehicle brands, extensive backup and service for a total one-stop driving experience. Holden, Mazda and HSV new and used vehicle sales, servicing, parts, paint and panel, Isuzu truck sales and service, all together in one convenient location. More selection, more value, more quality and more reasons to make Blackwell's your number one choice. Visit Blackwell's today, corner Waterloo Racecourse Road, Sockburn, or online at blackwells.co.nz.
Christchurch has its very own enchanted utopia, the Hitching Post. Pop in and see for yourself. A magical assortment of handmade creations, custom-made candles and artwork. Choose from our huge range of water features, garden art and imported giftware. Specialists in handcrafted metal artwork made in store. Nestled on 722 Marshlands Road, the Hitching Post, defining art our way.
Come on down to Ferrymead Golf. Care for a game of paintball? How about some swings on the old driving range? Or on our par 3 9-hole golf course? Test your skills on the mini golf course or have a go at the airgun shooting range. Then relax at the Wow Cafe with one of our super succulent Wow Burgers. Whether you want to perfect your swing or are looking for a fun family day out, come down to Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park.
The world has a great deal to tell. Journalists from across the world report on their home nations and the experiences of the people who live there. World Stories.
We're now joined by Ryan Cooney, manager of CTOC, talking about how to get around the inner city. Check it out.
Welcome to the Christchurch Transport Operations Centre, CTOC. My name's Ryan Cooney, I'm the manager. This week we're going to talk about traffic signals and how they're controlled in Christchurch. Traffic signals in Christchurch are controlled by a system called the Sydney Coordinated Adaptive Traffic System, SCATS for short. They use historic data and real-time data from traffic count loops around the network. Using that information, they allocate time at intersections to minimise delays. The SCAT system has been set up to manage the time allocation for various phases, as we call them, but traffic light green time at various intersections. In doing so, it's trying to optimise the time for individual intersections, but also for the network as a whole. This is why sometimes you can see some very strange things happening at individual intersections. This will be because it's waiting for the traffic from another approach, another intersection upstream or downstream to arrive. The SCAT system collects data from various sensors around the network. The sensors include under-road detection loops for vehicles, yellow pedestrian pads as we call them for pedestrians, and push buttons on the signal poles. Those sensors collect information on the number of vehicles or pedestrians and also how fast they're moving. Here at CTOC, another thing with traffic signals we often get asked about is right turn arrows. Right turn arrows have to be considered on the basis of two things: the safety of the intersection and the efficiency of the intersection. Where an intersection has complex right-hand turn requirements, i.e. there's a number of lanes to cross, or the angle of the road is such that it's difficult to see oncoming traffic, safety requirements mean that we often put in right-hand turn arrows in order to assist and minimise the safety impacts. Of course, if there's not a complicated intersection, then often there isn't right-hand turn arrows. The other issue we have to be conscious of is the efficiency impacts. Putting in a right-hand turn arrow requires time. This time is taken from other movements that occur within the overall cycle, the overall pattern of traffic signal operation. This is why we're always very cautious about where is the right location and when is the right time to introduce right-hand turn signals. The law allows for right-hand turns where the vehicle has entered the intersection prior to the amber phase coming up and then being able to exit during the amber phase. The complication with this, of course, is that when traffic travelling straight through the intersection continues on the amber phase. Therefore, we ask that people please don't enter the intersection during the amber phase where possible, where it's safe to stop. If you do see something a bit strange, or you'd like to ask some questions about how the traffic signals operate, please feel free to get in touch. The best way to contact us is via the City Council Contact Centre. The number to contact them is 03 941 8999 or info@ccc.govt.nz. You can also find further information on right-hand turn arrows on the Transport for Christchurch.govt.nz news and events page. The key hotspots for travel around the network this week are at the intersection of Beeley and Madras Street, Senasiv and Montreal Street. Remember to please use the 4 Avs for travelling around the CBD. For further information, check out the Transport for Christchurch website, the CTV daily roading updates, and please remember to merge like a zip.
Thank you for joining me today on Monday, June 23rd. Now, tomorrow we talk to a local hairstylist about the local awards we had in the weekend. It's Matariki, and also we are catching up with Rihanna Smith with her 12-week challenge. Thank you for joining me. Stay tuned now. It's a CTV cash giveaway with Lisa.